All right. Chapter 7, Billy Miller Makes a Wish. The basement was the coolest place in the house. Billy could feel the temperature change as he walked down the stairs. He went up and down a few times just to feel the sensation. It was like magic. He tried to find the exact spot where half his body was cold and half was hot. He was standing on the steps, arms outstretched, moving a bit this way, moving a bit that way. "What are you doing?" asked Sal. "Nothing," said Billy, dropping his arms. "Were you a bird?" she asked. "No." "An airplane?" "No." It wasn't unusual for Sal to interrupt Billy when he was having a perfectly satisfactory private moment. If he remembered, he'd tried this again later when he was alone. "What are you doing?" Sal asked again. Billy jumped from where he was on the stairs to the cement basement floor. "What I'm doing is helping Mama clean the basement," he said. Mama looked like she meant business. She'd stuffed her thick hair into one of Papa's baseball caps and pulled the cap lower over her eyes. And she was wearing one of Papa's old plaid work shirts. The fabric was as thin as tissue paper. The cuffs were frayed, and there was little holes running along many of the seams. Sal made a game of rushing up to Mama, poking her finger through one of the holes, and saying, "Peekaboo!" The air in the basement was heavy and damp. In the corners, cobwebs hung from the ceiling in clotted strands. This, thought Billy, is like the human version of a bat cave. Bats were on his mind because he was wearing his new bat t-shirt. He usually didn't pay much attention to clothes, but it was definitely his favorite shirt. He wondered how many days that he could wear it before Mama made him throw it in the laundry chute. He'd try to keep it clean. "What a mess," Mama said. She looked around and said it again. "What a mess." Billy didn't think the basement was messy. In fact, he thought that it was fairly tidy. It's not that there wasn't a lot of stuff. There was. But it didn't seem like a problem to Billy. The big main room where they had unpainted cinder block walls and roughly made wooden shelves. The shelves were crammed and overflowing with all kinds of things. There were flower pots, dishes, magazines, and record albums. There were buckets of paintbrushes, rusty paint cans, extension cords, and coils of rope. There were many boxes that Mama said were filled with letters, clothes, books, and old photographs. There are other things on the floor. Hockey sticks, baseball bats, and a warped tennis racket, a rake, a shovel, a shabby suitcase, a sewing machine, and an old-fashioned baby buggy. "It looks good to me," said Billy. Mama laughed. "Sometimes I wish I could see the world through your eyes, Billy Miller," she said. "What about my eyes?" asked Sal. "Your eyes are beautiful," said Mama. "My eyes are beautiful," said Sal. Mama got right to work and she started pulling things off the shelves. She opened a few boxes and looked inside. She'd sniff or make a funny face or a smell and then move on to the next one. "We'll make 3 piles," said Mama. "Things to keep, things to donate, and things to throw away." Billy's job was to help move the boxes and other items Mama had placed on the floor out in the middle of the room. Then they would sort everything. Some boxes were light and easy to carry. Some were heavy and Billy had to push them. After a few minutes, Billy took notice. The shelves were half empty. Boxes, some open, some not, and a random assortment of household goods were scattered across the floor, roughly concentrated in the center of the room. "Now it's messy," thought Billy. "Special delivery!" yelled Sal. "I'm Valerie, the mail person." Sal was pushing the baby buggy. She'd move it forward a few feet, stop, pretend to take something out, and toss it into the air. Each time she stopped, she named a different recipient. "Special delivery for Drip Sisters. Special delivery for Papa. Special delivery for Mr. Tooley," she'd said. "Oops, I forgot he's dead." "She's not helping," Billy said to Mom. "That's okay," said Mama. "Sometimes it's easier if she's not." Mama smiled in that knowing way that made Billy feel grown up, as if he were included in an adult secret. Mama got very interested in one of the boxes. She pulled folded pieces of paper from envelopes in the box, read some, and replaced some. She laughed at what she had read. She sighed. At one point, she stared off into space, pressing one of the envelopes to her shirt. Billy had gotten interested in some board games he had never seen before. They looked ancient. They were probably from when Mama and Papa were little. Sal had picked up speed. She tripped over one of the coils of rope and lurched forward. The baby buggy rammed into the shelving. A clay pot fell on the floor, breaking into several pieces, and then Sal screamed, covered her head, not because of the broken pot, but because a bat shot out of the darkness behind the shelves and blew into the room, swooping around and around close to the walls. "Wow," said Billy, completely mesmerized. He wanted to get a better, closer look at the bat, but he couldn't move. He was still as a statue. "Oh, boy," said Mama, "I don't like this. Billy, take Sal and go upstairs. Close the door to the basement behind you." "What are you—" Billy began. Go, said Mama. "I'm going to open the window and hopefully it will fly out." The bat was circling like a small, dusky machine that wouldn't stop. And Billy led Sal out of the basement and up the stairs in the back to the back hall. Before he closed the door, he turned around and listened. He couldn't tell what was happening. Part of him wanted to sneak back downstairs, but he didn't. "Are bats good or bad?" asked Sal. "Good," said Billy. "I think they eat mosquitoes." "I don't like mosquitoes," said Sal. "I don't think I like bats either." "I do," said Billy. "Maybe the bat came because of your shirt," said Sal. Billy glanced down at the bat on his T-shirt. "Maybe it's your fault," said Sal. Billy was overcome by an odd feeling. He had been thinking about bats because of his shirt. Had his birthday wish for something exciting to happen caused this? Was it his fault? Did he have some strange new power? He thought he'd gotten over his feelings about Mr. Tooley's death, but now he wasn't so sure. While they waited for Mama to return from the basement, Billy ran up to his room. He changed his shirt, he put on his plain gray T-shirt, and he rolled the bat T-shirt into a ball and shoved it under his bed, as far into the dusky darkness as possible. And that's chapter 7.